Most of the athletes, I think the statistic is what, 80% go bankrupt or broke 2 years after they retire.
Within 2 years after retirement. Think about that for a minute.
Yeah, and some of these guys have made $50 to $100 million.
And how do you go broke, right? That's what baffles people.
Yeah.
And I go, well, hold on. For regular everyday people, how do we spend 5 and 10 grand on a credit card? You do it one swipe at a time. So these guys are doing it on another level.
Yeah.
So, of course, I made agents nervous because they didn't want me making their clients smarter, right? And then the business managers in the music world. So anyway, so all that, I started speaking and teaching. And what I wanted to do was to empower people. So my mission statement is to educate, encourage, and empower as many people as I can, whether it's on leadership or money.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing, man.
It's fun.
And so how long did this study take when you studied 10,000?
This thing was a 2-year project.
Yeah.
And anytime you're trying to talk to 10,000 people, it's like herding cats, but I wanted to talk to people all across the country because I didn't want people saying, well, you're just talking to people that know you and Dave.
Yeah.
Or, I wanted to get people that had never heard of us. So we ended up using a research firm to dig into it. And we found them and we talked with them. And the reality is people think millionaires are trust fund babies, that they inherited everything or they got lucky or hit the lottery. None of those are true. These are regular everyday men and women that have worked hard over time. And they've been investing 25, 28 years. And the way the book is structured, we've got the information from the study, and we've got the information I want people to know, but the stories in this book of people that were homeless and turned it around, people that had $1 million or more in debt and turned it around. And so, Louis, it really goes back to a lot of the stuff you talk about. It's the mindset, right? It's the mindset. And when you get the right people with the right information, results can happen.
Yes. You talk about these myths that millionaires, about millionaires. What are some of the myths that surround millionaires?
I'll tell you 2. Most people believe they inherited it all, right? You see somebody with money, you think, oh, mom or dad handed it to them. The truth is 79% of the millionaires that I talk to, first generation wealth builders. They didn't come from anything. Right. These are people that focused and built money over time. Next myth, well, if you're a millionaire, you make a high paying job, right? You got big income.
Yeah.
Nope. A third of the millionaires that we talk to never made 6 figures in a single working year.
Really?
Think about that for a second. Dual income, never made 6 figures. So that blows that myth out of the water. A third of the millionaires that we talk to.
Wow.
Right? Now you think about 6 figures nowadays, it's more prevalent than it's ever been. But
a lot of people with 6-figure salaries have nothing in the bank.
Thank you.
Because they just spend it all.
That's exactly right.
And they're using credit constantly to buy bigger things.
That's right. No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. So what happens is people tend to think that income is so important. And I'll tell you, no, it's not. Because I was one of those people. I remember I was making about 30 grand. And I thought, all right, when I get serious, I'm 1 year out of grad school making 30, 40 grand. I was all right, when I make this amount, I'll start to get serious about my money. Well, you know that path, right? Well, when I make this amount, the next thing you know, lifestyle grows and you never end up taking control. But these are regular everyday people that took control and were focused. It was amazing. So let me tell you this, top 3 positions of the 10,000 millionaires we studied. Number 1 was engineer, which doesn't surprise you, right? They're good at planning.
Yeah.
Accountants.
Organized.
Yeah, accountants, same thing. They were number 2. They're good at counting stuff. Number 3 was teachers.
Wow.
Teachers.
They're not making that much.
Exactly. And you think they're undervalued, underpaid. How are teachers doing this? Well, if you think about what it is, wealth building is a long-term view, right? Not a quick hit. And so these get-rich-quick schemes that we see on TV at late night, they get me riled up because they're preying on people. But these people were people that built wealth over time, investing in their 401k, their 403bs.
What are some of the things that they do on a daily basis, these millionaires? What are some of the steps to take? And how do they think differently than non-millionaires? Great.
97% of the millionaires that we studied feel that they control their own destiny. Now think about that for a minute, because we have a victim mentality issue in America today, where we want to blame somebody for us not achieving something or getting in our way. So these millionaires think differently. 94% of them live on less than they make. So that means if they're making $100,000, they're living on 70 or 80, right?
You can't build wealth if you live on more than you make.
That's exactly right. And that's where the credit cards people start extending themselves and using credit cards. But 73% of these millionaires never carried a dime of credit card debt.
They never carried debt.
Debt.
Yeah.
Right.
You might use the card, pay it off every month.
Pay it off. Yeah. And so the mindset, and I love to give people in economics and a PhD in economics, interest that you pay is a penalty, right? If I use someone else's money, they charge me,
yes.
right? That's a penalty. Interest that I earn on my investments is a reward,
yes.
right? So why choose to penalize yourself? Don't use debt. Get yourself out of debt and invest and grow your money to reward yourself.
Yeah. What are some other things that these millionaires, and these are the millionaires that are like, you know, on the reviews in the back, they're making 1.5 million net worth, 1 million net worth. Yeah. We're not talking about hundreds of millions. We're talking about the everyday individuals.
That's right.
In America.
That's right.
Who've got $1 million, $2, $3 million bucks. Mm-hmm. Right? So this isn't like the richest of the rich.
No.
But it's showing you like you can get to that level if you make the right choices, right decisions, consistently over time.
That's right.
You can get there.
You really can.
And you don't need to make $1 million a year to get there.
No. And I'm glad you said that, because people, when they hear millionaire, they think that somebody's making $1 million a year. No, not at all. These are regular, everyday people. So what they did was they invested consistently over time. And I've got a free tool at my website, the net worth calculator, to help people kind of understand where are you right now. So net worth takes what you own minus what you owe. So what you own, your house if it's paid off, or the equity, your cars, your bank accounts, your 401ks, add that up and subtract out anything you have debt on. And so if that end number is $1 million or more, then you're an everyday millionaire. So I want people to know it's possible. 89% of these millionaires had a net worth between $1 and $5 million, but they're working regular jobs. They're managers in business. They're accountants, teachers. So I don't want people to think that this is not something that's possible for them, right? I tell people this, these millionaires were also givers. 70% of them set aside money every month to give, right? And I think that's an important thing for people to understand. I want people to build wealth to be able to give to things that they believe in, causes, right?
How much they give away? So how much a month?
Well, they're just 70% of them give.
70% give.
So they're giving. So they're giving 15% or more,
Smart.
right? But I've got this phrase that I tell people that when you're grateful for things, when you understand that you've had opportunities or you've overcome some stuff, I tell them it's hard to be hateful when you're grateful, right? And that spirit of gratitude, I think, is what drives people that are driven to want to do more, want to impact other people's lives.
Do you think anyone can be an everyday millionaire?
I know they can.
Even if they have hundreds of thousands in debt?
Yes.
Even if it looks like, man, there's no way out?
Yes.
I'm screwed in my relationship,
I know.
my finances, my family, like I'm on the wrong side of town. You still think they can?
It's possible. Talk to 10,000 of them.
Yeah.
The stories in here of what these people overcame, it motivated me even more. And I'm already a motivated person.
Yeah.
But people that were told that they couldn't, people that were told that they shouldn't, that it wasn't possible for them, that they didn't have the right education, they didn't have the right job, they didn't make enough. These people all stayed focused. And I'm talking, they were every color, every nationality, every socioeconomic status. These were people that believed. Being intentional, being consistent, and most importantly, do these three things. Believe that you can. Okay, you have to do that. You have to believe that you can. You have to gain knowledge on how. What are the things I need to do? And then our personal everyday habits. You got to learn those. The budgeting, the getting out of debt, saving and investing. These are all things that set the course for anybody to become an everyday millionaire.